guys, and welcome to Building a Lifestyle Business with AC Lock here. This is brought to you by Softwash Systems. And I've got a really great couple with us that are in business in basically the St. Louis, St. Charles area, Missouri. I've got Rick and Jami, and you guys pronounce your last name Nice, or is it Nice? Nice. I think I get it wrong all the time.
It's Nice. Yep.
Nice,
Yeah,
good.
it's me.
Good. I always wanted to like make it sound like, either English or something like Niles or something like that. But yes, it's Nice. And you guys have been in the cleaning business for a while, but you own Midwest Soft Wash there in the St. Charles area. And how long have you guys been in business?
We've been in business. It'll be our 15th season in
Wow.
the cleaning industry. Yeah.
And so we'll kind of get into this a little more later, but your primary business for a long time was just washing cars at dealerships.
Yeah. Yeah. At one time, we had a full crew just doing dealership cars. And then we had another crew that was just kind of doing like little stuff, dealership cars, drive-through restaurants. But our biggest niche was the dealership cars. Yes.
Yeah, and now when I see you doing it, it's generally you doing it, Rick, and I think you do it for peace of mind. You get up early in the morning and you go out there
Yeah.
and it's almost like you're zen to go out
Yeah.
and wash these cars.
Yeah, yeah. I like it. We dialed back with the dealership cars. I noticed in that industry, it's more about pricing than it
Mhm.
is about value. I know the ones I have, I still wash. I know the owners. I know them really well, and they see my value, and they like me as a company and a person with more of a
Right.
friend kinship. All the other ones we really don't do too much. It's mainly soft wash, but yeah, I like getting out there and washing them. As the years go on, I am going to transition where I'll get a crew to do it, or maybe just transition out of it completely. We don't do that much.
Right.
90% of all of our work is soft wash. Yeah.
Cool. So let's not get too businessy right off the bat here. This podcast is called Building a Lifestyle Business. And of course, we're building these businesses to support our life's goals and dreams. But tell us a little bit about you guys, your family, all the non-business stuff. What makes you guys tick? Your kids' names, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. So we have been together for 17 years.
Wow!
And we've got
Congratulations.
thank
Yeah.
you. And we share two beautiful daughters. We have Tegan and Emily. They're 13 and 12, or 13 and 11. And yeah, I mean, mostly we're just doing the parent thing and busy at work and yeah.
Well, I know, I spent a lot of time with Rick, and he's been down to Softwash Systems to do Top Guns and all, but I never really get to spend a ton of time with you, Jami. And so, what are some of your hobbies? What are your interests? What do you enjoy doing when you're not, doing sales and admin stuff for Midwest Softwash?
Oh yeah, when I'm not doing that or hauling the kids around to a sport or activity or something like that, then mostly, I'm a homebody, so
Hmm.
you'll find me at home reading, usually taking a bath and reading, and you know, I love animals and you know, hanging out at home mostly.
So you
Yeah.
said taking a bath and reading. Is there any such thing as a waterproof book?
No, there's not. You just got to be real careful.
So you have to be really careful because I know if I get into like a nice warm bath or a hot tub, I might be out that quick. So have you ever dunked a book?
No, I've never dunked a book.
Well, look
So
at
those are
you.
I can't dunk those. Yeah.
Well, that's pretty cool. Yeah, and in life sometimes it's about those quiet moments and being able to relax and have a good quality of life. And you talked about running the kids around and all. You guys are definitely right in that stage in life where you've got kids in school, kids in activities. Your life
Mhm.
starts to revolve around or get wrapped around what the kids are doing.
Yeah, that's kind of where we are right now. Yeah.
I remember when my wife and I, when AJ finally graduated. He's our youngest. We have a daughter and we have our son AJ. We got Lauren and AJ, and she actually goes by Elle now, and so she had a life name change like I did. And so it was just really funny when we got done and we got AJ out of school and he went away to college. We were 45 and empty nesters. And it was
Mhm.
really weird because you'd like have dinner or go on dates or whatever, and you'd search around for something to talk about. Your whole life for so long revolved around what the kids were doing next, how they were doing, what strategy you need to participate in as parents to, get them to perform better or, get better grades or, yeah, I don't know how your kids were in school, but, mine, we had to just continuously be on them because the lock years are not great students. But as you reach that stage one day, you're going to be empty nesters. It's a little awkward because for so long, it's all about the kids.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I believe that. So
Yeah.
right now we mostly talk about business and the kids.
Yeah,
So
the kids, and we're not too eager to have them empty nesters, so I'm enjoying it.
Mhm.
Taking the girls to practice and stuff, so I'm taking my time on that. You know,
Just
Yeah.
to soaking
Because
that
I mean,
all
you
up.
could
Yeah.
blink and it's over, and
yep,
it's Karen and I look back on it and we're like, did we even have kids? You know? I mean, it's weird. And we were young enough, we were like, well, Karen, you could get pregnant, we could have a whole nother family and we'd have them out of the house and be retired by the time we're 65, you know?
Mhm.
And it's kind of weird. And yeah, so well, at least you'll have your business to talk about. And
That's right.
yeah, yeah,
That's right. Kind of like each other. So,
yeah. Just a little bit, yeah.
and we try not to make this all about business because we built these businesses to have a great life. But can you imagine this, 10, 15 years in the future when the kids are done with college and you've, kind of got them out and maybe, the girls have gotten married, maybe, they're just out living on their own and stuff like that. And you've possibly sold this business and you retire, what would you do with your time?
Oh, I know we talked about traveling, from going down to Florida so many, the last, I think, going on 3 years, I
Mm-hmm.
was making a trip to Florida so many times. That's a place that Jamie loves, I love, the girls love. Hopefully getting a vacation home down there, an
Mm.
Airbnb, so we could spend more time down there, because we love it for just, it's an easy flight from here to there,
Right.
so much stuff to do, and every time we're down there, we just always make really good memories.
yeah.
Yeah.
If I
It's
could
an
be a
easy and kind
snowbird
of
right
cheap
now,
flight. Go ahead, Jamie.
sorry, if I could be a snowbird right now, I would.
Oh yeah, yeah. Because yeah, being in St. Louis, I mean, I love St. Louis. I've been there a lot. Between Maverick Softwash and you guys, and doing events that we've had there. St. Louis is a great town. It's right smack dab in the middle of the country. It's not too far north that it's that the winters are absolutely miserable. It's not too far south that it's hotter than Hades during the summer. You do get the four seasons, but when it does come to that kind of, you get past Christmas, you got that January, February
Exactly. Yep, that's when I'd
period
be
of
gone.
time,
Yeah.
that's kind of like our, July 15th through September 15th. It's so hot here, you don't even want to go outside. You
Yeah.
just hide in your house. For you guys, it gets so cold for 2 months, you don't even want to go outside. You just hide in your house. And it would be nice to
Exactly.
jump on that easy Southwest Airlines flight and just right down to
Yeah.
Florida and and have a little winter house down here that then yeah you could Airbnb out the rest of the year.
Yeah, yeah, that's kind of the plan. So,
Yeah.
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 Well, I'll start looking for one for you guys. Yeah, I'm
okay,
thinking about
great.
my neighborhood that I have here. If I just start getting everybody to buy houses in here, we can just start a commune. It's already gated. It would be great. The zombie
Yeah,
apocalypse ever happens, the zombies can't get in. So hey,
yeah, and if Karen would make her dirt cake every once in a while, that would be,
that's
an
right.
extra
Karen
incentive
could cook for
to move.
everybody. Totally. Yeah. And so you guys have been together. You've done the business. Let me get this right now. You've done the business for 15 years and you guys have been together 17 years, right?
Yep.
Okay. So what did you do before the business? What was your careers? Because there's 2 years there. You guys obviously, dated for a long time. Well, you've been together. I think you guys just recently, within the last few years, got married, correct?
We did. Yeah, we celebrated our year anniversary
1 year, baby.
on January 13th. Yeah.
Wow. Wow. Yeah. Yeah. I always thought it was kind of strange. I'm like, dude, Rick, man, get on the stick, make this thing happen, and
Right.
but
I just want to make sure, Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So you had a very long courtship,
Yep.
and so when you look at that 2 year period that you guys were, obviously, didn't have the business, but you guys were still dating and together and as a couple. What did you guys do before there was, Midwest? Before back then it was Midwest Soft Wash. It became Midwest Soft Wash. But what were you doing before you got into the cleaning industry?
Yeah. So what I did, I actually did affluent homes, pre-inspections, analyzing their risk for insurance. And so I was doing pre-inspections before I was doing pre-inspections for Midwest Soft Wash.
There you
But I
go.
loved it. I really enjoyed it. And I actually did that until 2016.
Hmm.
Yep.
And then Rick, what did you do before that?
I did. So I got out of high school, and then I did concrete. I joined the finishers union, so I was a concrete finisher.
Oh wow.
I did that. Yep, I did that for a couple of years, and I really didn't like it. So I got a job working for a guy washing dealership cars. I worked for him. I was a crew leader for about 3 years. I After that, I tried to get my own business going. Didn't quite get it. Went back into concrete. Did that for a
Hmm.
couple of years. 2009 kind of hit. We were slowing down, and I just was thinking, hey, get a little power washer and start doing that. But yeah, it was either concrete or power washing is pretty much all I've done as
Mm.
far as a full-time job since I got out of high school. Yeah.
And fun fact about that is we had just moved in together. We had been together a year, so we just moved in together. And he said, "Oh, by the way, I'm quitting my job and starting my own business." And I was like, "Wait, what?"
Yeah.
Yes, because a lot of us in the soft wash systems world, we know disc assessments, and so Rick, I think you're a DI, right?
Yep. Yep.
Yes,
Okay. And if it works right, if you're really matched perfectly, that would make Jamie, you're probably an SC.
I am. Yep, that's
Well, there you
exactly what I
go. And that's why you guys have been together for so long, is because you guys do, kind of make one person. And that's the way it should be. You should marry across from your personality styles on the disc assessment. And so, Jamie, you're very risk adverse, and
am.
Rick is just like, risk? What risk? We're, what? We move into each other, we start this new life together, we make this commitment. I'm just going to go off and start a new business. And you were probably like, what?
Yeah, that's exactly, he just jumps right in and, you know, I have a lot of panic.
Mm.
But, he went dealership to dealership and he did it all by himself. And, at one point, I forget how many cars we were doing, but we were doing like 20,000 cars a week. And so, he came through, that's for sure.
That's a
Yeah.
lot of hustle for sure, for sure.
Yep.
So you guys move in together, start your life together, and start this new business. I know, Rick, you mentioned that 2009 the economy was going down. Not a lot of yards of concrete were being poured at that particular time, and you probably saw the writing on the wall. Why didn't you just go out and get another job or find another career or go back to school or something like that? Why did you guys decide to become entrepreneurs? I mean, what's
Um, yeah, so it just kind of happened by accident, I guess. I knew, we were getting slow, and it was one of those things where I know how to do the thing. I know how to wash the cars. I knew how to do it. I was doing concrete. I had access to my boss's power washer, a little Home Depot power washer, and he said I could use it. So I just went to a couple dealerships, a little small, buy here, pay here, little small ones, and 50, 60 cars, and said, hey, can I wash your cars? And then it was just that. And I was, for probably a good couple of like 3 or 4 years, I was like, yeah, it'll be a side hustle. And then I'll just, get back in. I was always kind of, helping my old bosses out, friends out doing concrete, doing little side jobs.
Mhm.
But, I would always, to do the job, the hard work for me comes real easy. Other people, it doesn't come as easy. I can work long shifts. I can do the thing, and to me, it's just not that hard. So it's for me to wake up every day to wash the cars. I got all the dealerships are like, "Hey, Rick, you're here all the time. You're great. I got a buddy down the street. Oh, hey, I got a buddy down the street." And it was just one of those things where my dependability got me the jobs, and I was doing quality work. My price was really low, but it was more than I was making
Mm-hmm.
um, at my current job, and it just kind of worked from there.
So, Jamie, that's one thing. Now, and I realize nowadays and everything else, if you're going to be politically correct and everything else, we're not supposed to talk about genders and all that fine stuff, but I'm not a very politically correct person. And
Yeah.
so I know as a guy and a gal starting a life together and starting this entrepreneurial journey, you already knew that Rick was a hard worker and probably no matter what, you guys were never going to starve because he will wake up early, he will put in the hours, he will do whatever it takes to go out and do that work. Tell me about how that makes you feel and what kind of security or comfort that gives you when you start an entrepreneurial journey.
Yeah, and I wasn't a part of the business at that time, so I knew he was a hard worker, I mean, he was doing concrete finishing, and so he was gone from like 6 o'clock in the morning until like 7 o'clock at night every day, anyway. And so when he started his own business, I watched him basically do the same thing, but I think you start a business and you say I'm going to work less hours, but he it was Monday through Sunday, like there
Yeah.
was no days off and crazy early mornings, late evenings, just getting the work done. And so seeing his motivation and dealership people really are his people, like they speak the same language. And so just watching him build that up, it made me proud, and it made me know that even though he was doing his own thing, we were going to be just fine. So yeah.
Yeah. And so that's kind of he comes down to Orlando, Florida here, and he does our Top Gun school for us, and he's one of our Top Gun instructors. And he's one of the ones we really lean on because he is a bit of a workaholic. He's always you could call him at the last minute and say, "Hey, you want to come down and teach Top Gun?" He's like, "Oh yeah, I love teaching Top Gun." He just drills into it.
Yes.
But he's such a worker and he's so headstrong and everything else. It's kind of how he earned his Top Gun call signal, his call name. And so, he's Hoss. And if you guys remember Big Hoss from Bonanza, those of y'all that were around or ever saw Bonanza on even, syndicated TV, he was the one of the brothers that was big and tall and brawny and just, was just a mule and just got things done. Very determined type of person. And, and so it's been recognized by everybody around him that he's a put his head down and pull the plow kind of guy for sure. And so that's cool. All right. So you guys decided to take this entrepreneurial journey and we kind of already know the cleaning business. You either doing concrete or you were doing washing cars. How do you transition now? And you spoke a little bit about it, but how do you transition now from cars to houses and commercial buildings and doing exterior cleaning on structures?
So by this time, I have full crews washing dealership cars. We're doing really well on it. And I hear a lot of people doing house residential washing. So it's about 2014, 15. And I'm like, well, I'll get into residential. We were doing straight up power washing at that time.
Right.
I heard a lot of, there wasn't the internet and the stuff that there is today where you can just click on something and get a million videos.
Right.
And I heard, oh, bleach is bad and other stuff. And I'm like, all right, well, I'll just do it the old school way. And I would, and even then I'm like, okay, I'm going to bid this house at this price. And they were still like, oh, you're still higher than other companies. And da, da, da. I'm like, well, I'm doing it this way. What it would take me for so long to do it. And finally I was like, I'm not doing houses. I would refer them out to other people. And I was just, as about 2015 came along, I'm just surfing the internet and I pop up one of your videos, and it was you were doing something. It was in California about
Mm-hmm.
wastewater, and it was a 3-hour video. I watched the whole thing, and then I started following you on Facebook, and I was watching when you had the old DPI systems and all this
Right.
stuff, and I just rolled into your. Then I saw some other videos, and I go, oh, so there is a way to clean. And I was always like, I hated running my engines. I hated motors. I always was thinking, hey, can I get a power washer that I could run electric? And it was just something I always thought of. And when you're running all the electrical stuff, I go, this is perfect.
Hmm.
You don't need a power washer. And it just kind of set me into getting in. And I kind of saw the vision that you were portraying. And then as you were getting into the systems and stuff like that, and then the equipment and stuff is really what I loved. And it just from there, it was just snowballed.
So yeah, you talked about something that happens to a lot of people. They find that one video, and in your particular case, that's a 3 hour video that I did at Jay Racenstein's office in California for one of their open houses, and I was teaching about soft washing, and they captured the whole thing on video. And I didn't know they were going to put it on YouTube, but they put it on YouTube, and then the algorithm on YouTube figures out, hey, you like soft washing videos, and then they start putting up some more of our soft wash systems videos up in the recommended videos, and then all of a sudden, swoosh, you're down the YouTube, what we call the YouTube
Yep.
wormhole. And
Oh yeah.
you come up for air 6, 7, 8 hours later. And I mean, we hear it all the time, and people are like, oh man, I saw all your videos on YouTube. Wow, I didn't know. And in your particular case, it was you wanted to clean structures and buildings and do something more than just the cars. But when you applied just standard pressure washing, like you were doing on the cars, but you were using reverse osmosis water, so they dried spot free. When you try to apply that to houses, it took a really long time. And you had, instead of just dirt and grime, you had things that had root systems on the houses. And that took a long time to just pressure wash off. And you were ready to give up. And so
I
you
did.
found an easier way.
Yeah. Yeah, and that was damaging too. Even though I was on it, screens, I had a covered porch that had kind of like almost a drywall that would
Right.
peel. So I'm having buddies of mine help me with siding. I'd blow a section of siding down 3 stories up, and it was just to the point of, oh my God, there has to be a better way. And I was just determined, if I'm going to do this, then I need to find a better way, and then I need to find something that can do it, and then we can grow with the equipment too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So then you find soft wash systems, and uh, you find it because you're looking for something easier to do, but you stumbled into more than just a different technique for cleaning. So tell us a little bit about the things that actually attracted you guys to soft washing with soft wash systems.
Yeah. So at this time, it was just pretty much me and the company. Jamie was helping with some back end stuff, but yeah, it was. I like the equipment. I like the back end, the training. I didn't know too much about the training and what you guys offered as far as it. I just was like, hey, this is good equipment. This is good stuff. I like it. I can do 3 stories. I can do this. And then as you were progressing on your Facebook stuff,
Mm-hmm.
YouTube. I went down and when I went down to get my equipment, I didn't really know much about the in-network stuff,
Right.
authorized, certified stuff. But I think at that time you guys were just exploding and growing too, because every time I saw a video, Whitney was my Shield support agent, and I'm like, Whitney, I want electric hose reels. She goes, well, I go, I can fix it. It's fine. And I'm like, hey, what's this charging system? I want this. So you would talk about something in a video, and then you would bring it, and I'd say, I want this. And I'm like, well, I want the bigger skid, or I want this. So I basically upselled Whitney probably an 10 grand. Um, but it was the best thing because I would see you put it on there, and I was like, oh, it was just so much stuff. And at the end of the day, I was like, I know I can get these accounts. I know I can make this work. Where, I wanted to get the biggest, baddest equipment out there. And at the end of the day, because at that time electric hose reels weren't really the norm. I'm like, I
Right.
can work on it. I saw the system was easy to work on just because of there's no motors or anything with it. So and I'm pretty handy. I'm not the most hand, but when it comes to this equipment, I can work on it pretty well. But
Hmm.
yeah, getting sidetracked.
So,
Sure.
well, so you come down to you buy and pick up a system, and you've gotten some quotes, and we have you come down and do what we call discover soft wash, and you discovered some more things. What were some of the more things that you discovered once you got past the equipment?
Yeah. So when I went down there, then there was the authorized certified program, the authorized program, and that was more training on the back end of things. Getting your technicians trained, getting your company trained.
Hmm.
So you can stand out between it. And I started really liking that. And I go, well, this is something Jamie would like. More of the back end stuff. And it was, you have to take a test. You have to, have your certain certifications as a company, not just okay, do one test and you got a paper and you're good to go. And it would really help us on the back end. And then with all the sales training that you guys offered us with going out that we implement on it right now with hiring our new territory manager, that was great. And
Right.
it was just a good thing. But when I went down there, it's just so much. We sat in the classes and stuff, and it was just like, oh my God, I was just so blown away with, my mind kind of melted, and I was like, it's so hard to get it all in one at once.
Yeah. And back then it was the CDs,
Right.
like the disc. And so he came home. Well, first of all, I didn't know stopwatch systems was a thing, so he had been watching you for years. And then one day he said, "Hey, I'm going to go down to Florida and pick up the skid, and I'm going to take all the savings and invest it in that." And I said, "Wait, what?" um,
Again,
and I had
SC, risk averse.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And I had just been laid off
Hmm.
from my company. So they sold over to somebody else. And, unfortunately, my position was eliminated and we had two tiny babies at home. And I'm like, wait, you're doing what? But I mean, he had earned all that money, building his business. So I couldn't say either way. And so
Right.
he went down there. He'd call me every day, so excited about all the different things he was learning and all the awesome people he was meeting and that kind of thing. And then he came home and he said, "Can will you watch these with me?" And I was like, "Oh, like, I don't know. It's like, it's pretty comprehensive." And so I was like, "Okay." And I fell in love with the science of soft wash. I
Mm.
love to know why we're cleaning it this way and, what the different soaps do and, really the difference between power washing and soft washing. And I was like, yes, this is for me. I want in. And that's actually when I joined the business.
Yeah. So you and I share the geek thing,
Hmm.
the geeking out over the real science behind, we're not just slinging bleach on a building. We're leveraging pH and surfactants and detergents and, and scrub and non-scrub and all the theory behind what we're doing, sanitizing the surface, what the difference is between just cleaning, sanitizing, and actually sterilizing a surface. Yeah, all that stuff it's really fun. And most people think that soft washing is just slinging bleach on a building, and they don't even know the reasons why we use bleach. I mean, bleach does give you a nice instant clean, but you've got the pH of it, you got the astringent value of it. It acts like benzoyl peroxide on your skin for drawing your acne out of your skin. It does the same thing to the surface to pull dirt out of the pores. And yeah, I mean, that's that. As you can tell, I mean, I was the guy teaching the classes, so I was geeking out over it too. So
Yeah.
yeah. It's really fun. So, so give us a progress report. So you start soft washing and tell us a little bit about year one and then year two and year three and how you've grown this thing and you've gotten a facility. Kind of give us the 3 to 5 minute story of the growth then from that point of joining soft wash systems and moving forward building your business.
Yeah, so we were doing the power washing, we still had the car washing side. Rick loved the skid and he thought he would have the crew take care of the car washing and he would do the soft wash. And that worked pretty well. We were not on model at that time. And we thought we knew better. And so we ran it our way for a while. And I will tell you those first 3 years were rough for us, but we also saw it was so much more consistent on the soft wash side for work and, more profitable for us on the work side. And so we really knew we wanted to transition from dealership car washing over to the soft wash side. And so we were slowly making our way doing that. We had a lot to learn on the business side because, I mean, just taking care of dealership car washing, that really was word of mouth, but soft
Right.
wash is way more than word of mouth. And,
Yeah.
we trudged along and we made a lot of mistakes. And we learned from every single one of them. So that was great. But then we decided, well, maybe AC does know what he's talking about. And maybe we'll try to get here on this model
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah, the
Um,
model.
yeah. And I'd say every year we would work on being more and more on model. It wasn't just like, bam, we're on model. It took us time to, fully absorb everything and get things in place and, consistently work on being on model. And so once we actually did that,
Yeah.
like dramatically improved. And so that's kind of what we've been doing
Yep.
ever since.
Yeah, so I know you guys operated out of your home for a while. You've had crews, you haven't had crews. I mean, Rick's had to jump back on the truck, and and so it evolved after a while. And so now, where are you at now with the business?
So yeah, right now, the last 3 years we've been really hard on model, really getting it done. Last year has been great. This year has been the great best year ever. We our first full season, full year, we went with our two technicians. So before we would just turn out technicians, and so we have Johnny and Landon. They've been here for a year in April. We've gone through a couple territory managers. We have one right now that's going through his training. He's doing good, but just our work balance life is a lot better.
Mm,
Um, learn, doing the Top Gun training. I learned every time I went down there, I learned so much. And I think that made me a better, husband, father, entrepreneur, business owner, and also running the company, being more of it's a business. It's not, a job or anything like that. So yeah, right now, this year is our best year ever. We're doubling what we did total of this time last year. And, we're as we get our second skid on the road. We'll get that here later this week. We were working with the apartment complexes, working that up, not just diving into that.
hmm
I love residential. Jamie loves apartments.
Yeah.
I like bulk residential, then fill in the apartments and
hmm
the commercial stuff. But yeah, it's been a great year so far. We're really running it as a business, from top to bottom, and it's just now it's the little stuff. I think dialing in the little stuff that people really don't see, that's the hardest for me, is like the paperwork stuff and all
Oh, yeah, it's
that.
tuning the engine. Yeah. You
Yeah,
got to get the engine running. You got to get fuel going through it. It may be running rough and all, but you can't tune an engine that's not running. So you got to get it running.
Yeah, that's right. So, and every time he would go down and do Top Gun, like he really, he was teaching the Top Gun, but he was learning so
yeah,
much as he was coming home. And then he could convey that onto our technicians and like made him a better leader with our technicians. And so all around it really improved, and definitely work-life balance. Absolutely, especially getting him off the truck. So he comes he's in a better mood and he's more relaxed and
yeah.
just enjoying the time with our daughters, because he was gone so much,
Right.
working so much when they were itty bitty. And so now that they're almost teenagers, like he's been able to really slow down and, just kind of hang with the family
Oh,
and
because it's
enjoy.
important now, Dad, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I
Yeah.
think it was always important to me, but the business would always come first. And I lost a lot of those early years with the girls.
Yeah.
I was there, but I was always working.
We're
And now,
exhausted.
yeah. And
Yeah.
now running the business and having, the right employees and the right people in place, I don't have to come in the office every morning. I can get the girls off to school. I can do something. I can maybe run an estimate, or I can come home early and take Emily to swim and do all that stuff. I can do the stuff, but also, I know my guys and are going to get here, do what they need to do, and it's not going to be, a fully breakdown and
hmm
nothing's done.
Yeah.
So yeah,
And that was our
So,
second epiphany, was
yeah.
hiring the right people and putting the right people in
yeah,
place. So
Absolutely. And that's part of the model and everything else. And you've said you've basically doubled your numbers on your
yeah,
first quarter this year versus your first quarter last year.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
is an interesting phenomenon. It's not something that people would automatically expect. It's kind of what I call an upside down principle because it's completely opposite of what people would expect. You've doubled your numbers, but what has happened to your time?
I have more time. I'm doing less in-field work. And I'm in, I've always enjoyed it, but I'm starting to enjoy the entrepreneurial spirit. And I'm doing stuff that it's like, to me, it's like a new business.
Mm,
Even though it's the same business I've been in, I'm in a different aspect of it. I'm not on the truck all the time, so it's new to me, and it just scares me up. And I feel like I have a new vigor and drive these last this is going on these last 3 years of each year. I've seen myself move. I've seen Jami move and put me into different positions, and even Jami getting her into different positions too, where it just ramps you up, and it's like, oh my God, I'm ready to go, and and all that good stuff.
But
mm.
it really helps, business wise, instead of him out washing cars or out washing, houses, like he can spend more time, building relationships and
Yeah.
building referral partners and,
Right.
you know, putting the time in where it doesn't seem like it makes such a big impact on your business, but just the time that we have been able to pour a little extra in on that end, you know, has helped us double our business. So
Yeah. And
Yeah.
it's fun.
No,
Fun.
for
I
sure,
love
for sure. And Rick, it's especially for dads with girls, the preteen and early teen years are the absolute most important years. That is when you either win your girls over or you lose them. And
Right.
so it's a big deal time for you to be present for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's been great.
Yep. So you've turned the corner, you've started getting the model, getting on model and getting the model right. You're doubling your revenues, you're doubling your time at home. Dad's more present, stress is down. Life seems pretty good. Where are we going with this now? I mean, are you guys going to do a legacy business and keep it forever? Are you going to build it up and sell it? How long, what's the picture? Because surely you started talking about this. What's the picture in the future for you guys?
We've talked about it. I really have fun running the business and doing the business aspect of it.
Mm-hmm.
We're looking more towards the legacy side of it. Yeah, if someone comes in and gives us some outrageous amount, but maybe buying local businesses that aren't able to
Mm-hmm.
cut it, that can show their profits and stuff to help grow our company. But yeah, we want to grow it. We want to have it here, but also have that freedom where we can shoot over to Florida and do a Top Gun or just do, hey, the girls have a 3-day weekend. Hey
Right.
guys, I need to knock this out. The guys don't work the weekends, but let's do a 3 or 4 day weekend. And it's not, okay, do we have the money? Do we have this? No, we do, and we can do that. And
Mm.
that's part where I see it. And
yeah, no,
think
I
Jamie's on board
definitely
too.
think we have we plan for a legacy business, but we have our systems in place and, we just want to have everything in place. So just in case anything ever comes up where we do need to sell, we'll be in a great position.
Right.
But if one of the kids want to take it over one day, we wouldn't be upset with that.
Yeah, 'cause you have two good girls. You're gonna raise them up, and hopefully they're gonna either go to trade school or college, get some additional skills, maybe meet a couple great guys, and bring those great guys into the business. And who knows
Yep,
where it might go one day.
that's right.
So, yeah, that's pretty cool. Well, this has just been a great conversation with you guys. It's great perspective, you guys. It's been really awesome to watch you guys grow in this business and do well. And it is tough. It is tough when I see people that are not on model. You can't just jump in and scold them and push them into place and everything. You got to let people discover. And even we started going back, building branches and launching branches for Softwash Systems Corporate because we got a little area we've decided not to put any licensed affiliates in, and we're going to kind of build it out to show you guys, hey, here's a model branch, and here's the next cell, and here's a group of 3, here's a triad, and kind of cover an area and show people like you that are doing a legacy business how far you can take this and how you can really build something incredible. And so for our branch here in Orlando, Florida, that we started doing, we're coming up on our 1 year anniversary here shortly. And so I'm in there as an owner investor. I've put the money in to start it. I've bought the trucks, I bought the equipment, I bought the desks and painted the office and leased the place and covered the payroll while they were getting on their feet and all. And I only spend roughly 2 to 3 hours. Every Monday we have a afternoon meeting that I spend with them. Other than that, I don't really do anything with the branch. And so they're following the same systems you are. They're having the same struggles that you guys did. They're questioning things just like you did. They're wondering if AC is crazy or not. And well, do we really have to hire a DI for an outside territory manager? Why can't we hire this guy that's a CI? And why can't we hire this lady that's an SC? And so and do we really need DIs and DCs and CDs out on the trucks? And we get into all this stuff and we start to question the advertising and everything. And they've done the same things. And it's kind of like being a parent. To be an effective parent, you have to be comfortable with pizza elbows and pizza knees, because you eventually have to take your hand off the back of the seat while the kid's learning how to ride the bicycle and let them eat a little asphalt to learn to trust what you've told them about riding the bike. And so, you guys definitely went through some of that over the years. And it's tough for me because I have to just let the systems work. And, not everybody makes it at Soft Wash Systems. As you guys have watched, you've been in it a long time with us. Not everybody makes it. And, and the ones that start following the systems start doing well. And it's been a pleasure to see you guys tough it out, hang out, start working with the model, and see you guys. I always end my calls and everything with "go forth and prosper," but see you guys start to really prosper, because that's my end goal for everybody that's here at Soft Wash Systems.
Yeah, and real quick, what being on model is it's basically when you start really implementing it, and there's people that can get on model and run it like that, get in network, and they've run companies before, and to them it's easy. Right. We weren't that kind of company, but when you follow it, and we have we can talk with, we have other in-network companies we can talk with, it just makes it so much easier. I think we could have been a lot closer to where our goals are now, or we could have been a little bit ahead of everything if we would have been on it. But then again, I don't want to dwell on the past or whatever. We did great, it made us where we are, but at the end of the day, when we're following everything that you and Soft Wash Systems bring to us and being on model, I think it's just it's a no-brainer. And it's just, and anyone out there watching this, just follow it. It's tough. It's running a business. It's not like I'm gonna get this truck, sling bleach, and the jobs are coming in right away. You got to work like anything else. You got to work. You got to hustle.
Yeah.
Do it, and it's for us, it's been great. It's been a great drive, and the friendships and everything that we've met, people we met within network, and all that good stuff.
Well, I can't figure out a better way to close it. How about you, Jami?
Yep, just grateful for your mentorship and the friendships and family that we've built with Soft Wash Systems and everyone involved. So
awesome. Well, there you go, guys. Another success story here at Soft Wash Systems. And, this podcast is us profiling here in the United States, about 110 licensed affiliates, about 150 worldwide, now in 9 countries. And just having them tell their stories, because all we're doing here is trying to help people put together a business that can become a lifestyle business that can help them support all their life's goals and dreams, and help them accomplish the things they want to in their life, and and do it through soft washing with Soft Wash Systems. Thank you, Rick. Thank you, Jami. I appreciate you guys so much. And hey, guys, you can go ahead and like and share the podcast. Go ahead and subscribe to the podcast here on your favorite podcast channel or on YouTube. And as always, guys, this is AC Lockyer with Building a Lifestyle Business. Go forth and prosper.